Hey, welcome back, treasure hunters. I haven't made a video in a long time. I know that, but I've been super busy. I dedicated the month of November to revamping my Etsy shop. So I had to go in, take new photos, post a bunch of new stuff that I've had. I wanted to get everything ready for the holiday season. So I actually went about and organized all the art that I've collected over the last couple of years, or at least most of it. So I had to go through all that art and kind of just look at different pieces that maybe I couldn't identify previously, that I had to try to research, inventory, and all this stuff. Here you can see all of my different pieces of art. Tried to put things together, stuff that I have identified, stuff that I haven't, stuff that I've posted. I dedicated a whole new wall to take better photos and got a better setup so I could make my Etsy shop look better. So that took a lot of time. I only have so much time to devote to this and treasure hunt and make videos. So I did all of that during November. I also had my kids have been sick and my wife has been sick, so it's been a crazy last couple months, but now I'm back. I have some new thrift store treasures that I want to show you that I think could fetch me a good price. And also we have a winner for the giveaway that I mentioned in my last video, and that giveaway I'm going to send one lucky person this vintage mid-century Steuben glass vase. This is a treasure that I've recently found. It is signed Steuben on the bottom. It does need to be cleaned. I haven't cleaned it. Obviously, it's a little bit cloudy, but I know you can clean the insides of these. I'm not exactly sure the best way to do it, but still really nice piece. So we're going to get to that giveaway and see who's going to get this sent out to them absolutely free. So here is, I made a video of the randomizer for this Steuben glass vase. If your name is the top name, or your user name is the top name, just send me an email at joe@treasurehuntingdad.com. Just send me your address and I'll get this shipped out to you. There were only 13 people that qualified, that commented on the video that I specified. So it's pretty good odds. And I'm going to be doing these giveaways a lot, and there'll always be something that I found out at the thrift stores that have some sort of value. It won't be a piece of junk or anything. It'll be a pretty decent piece that you can either keep for yourself or you can resell. So stay tuned for the next giveaway. And now let's get into some of these treasures I found. So first thing I got here to show you is this mid-century Murano glass ashtray. And I got this at a Goodwill for, it was like $2. This thing, when I picked it up, was really dirty, completely covered in dust, to the point where the cashier even was like kind of hesitant to touch it. It does have a little chip here, which I didn't notice just because of how dirty it was, but it's just a tiny thing right here in the corner. What caught my eye about this, one, just the thickness of the glass and the overall style. You can tell it's not a piece that was factory made or anything. Two, the bottom is very polished and everything's pretty symmetrical. So when you're looking at art glass, it's always important to check the bottom first. If the bottom doesn't really look, if it looks opaque, or if it looks just cut off, or, just not all nice and clean and polished like this, probably is from China. But also, given the amount of dust and dirt and, just how much stuff was piled on this, I knew it was an older piece anyway. Don't know if I would have purchased it, even though it was only a couple bucks, if when I cleaned it off, I noticed this chip. So either way, I probably normally could have sold this for around $50. Probably have to drop the price down now with the chip to about 30, but for only a couple bucks. Pretty cool. Next little piece here that I got, I found this at a local Savers thrift store. This is a Bentley antique. It's a brass turtle clock. This is supposed to have a shell that you can see there's a little nail here that holds a shell that would fold over the actual clock part. But it was missing that. On the bottom though, this was made in West Germany. It's probably super hard for you to read that. But the bottom actually looks super clean. And I got this for $1.49. That's why I bought it. These were all listed when I looked up between 100 and 125 bucks, but most of those had the little shell over top of it. So I'll probably list this for about half that, but for $1.50, cool little piece. Even, you know, if I don't sell it, I don't mind keeping it just as a little nice little clock. Here's the next piece I found. When I initially saw this, what caught my eye, I thought it might be just a piece of like Chinese decorative pottery, but when I looked closer, I could tell that you can see the raised up from like the paint of these flowers. And this is also really dirty. When I picked it up, I definitely knew it was an antique, just looking at the bottom. And I couldn't see anything in the store. And plus there's a sticker on it. The only downside to this, and I didn't identify this in the store, and the reason why I bought it was only like $2. There's a huge chip out of this, but I had to know the maker of this. Like, it was really bugging me. And then when I got home and I took the sticker off and I shined it in the light right, I found it does say Weller on the bottom, which again, I'm outside of Cleveland, so I find a lot of Weller, Zanesville, Roseville, not a lot, but I do see that pottery at the thrift stores every once in a while. So this is an antique early Weller vase, and for only a couple bucks. The chip is obviously pretty noticeable on being in the rim like that and being as big as it is. But for $2, I could still sell this for something, especially if somebody sets, you know, this where there's a wall here and the flowers are in the back. Somebody still might want this, but this was more just out of my own curiosity. I had to know the maker of this vase here. So it is Weller. Really cool. This would have been an awesome find if it didn't have this huge chip out, but either way, it was only a couple dollars and I could still make a profit off of it. Next piece here that I'm going to show you, I got at the Savers. This was $9.99, and I tried to stay away from, I told myself I was going to stay away from like lighting because I hadn't sold any in a while, and I have a bunch of lamps and stuff, and they can be difficult to ship and everything else. But I found this piece, and I actually have recently sold a couple lamps, and this is like a hand-turned, really nice inlaid wooden lamp. And it's definitely, I don't think it'll make the antique mark, but it's definitely vintage. It's not entirely heavy, but it is really nicely made. And I really liked how uniform the inlay is around here. These can sell any, you know, it kind of depends because there's not a maker for this. I'm not even sure if this was handmade, if it was made by a company or not. But either way, I should be able to at least, I probably price this between maybe around like 150, 200 bucks. Just because these vintage lamps, that's kind of what they go for, especially ones that are as well made as this. So it's a pretty cool find. Next piece here, I also got at Savers for, I think it was about $5 or $5.50. This is a piece of studio pottery. Caught my eye about this one was the overall size and the craftsmanship. It's very well made. You can tell it's studio pottery, just given how you can tell it's, you know, been hand turned and looking on the bottom, it is signed. I have not been able to ID this yet, but I've recently got this, but I'm going to have to post this and see if anybody does recognize it and I can confirm it. But either way, for $5.50, it's a really nice large piece of pottery. It can be used as a vase or just a decorative piece for numerous types of decor, and it's pretty neutral in color. So I should be able to at least make 50 bucks off this. Next thing I found here, I got for $4 at Savers. This is another piece of studio pottery. You can tell that it's studio pottery just given the construction of it and also how it has, just the hand painting and finishing, and how there's some kind of just like the raw material with these paint strokes through. The inside's very nicely glazed, and the bottom does have some sort of signature, but I have no clue what this says. It just looks like a bunch of lines to me. So this is another piece I'm gonna have to post. But for $4, this is really well made and well finished. So hopefully somebody can help me out with the artist on this one. But even if I can't figure out the artist, I could still price this probably between $40 and $60. Next piece here I have is a limited edition lithograph. And what caught my eye about this one is when I was flipping through, one, the glass has that non-reflective type glass, which you don't see all the time. But two, I always check the back, and there is a certificate of authenticity. And this is titled Wary Gobbler, numbered 63 out of 100, and the artist is Eileen Melton. So all I did was a quick search on Eileen Melton, like limited edition prints or lithographs, and found that, her work does sell for a decent amount of money. And this is only $5.09 at Goodwill. So her work was selling, all the pieces that I saw were selling for more than $100, even though some of them were larger than this. But I still think pricing this between $100 and $150 to start is definitely viable. So here's my next treasure. What caught my eye about this piece is you can definitely tell that this is a piece of studio pottery, just given how abstract the shape is. It's hand painted. It's definitely a unique vase. It's kind of like a pillow vase. Just check the bottom, and it is signed. And I just did a quick Google search. Looks like Kazmarzik or something. And I did find the artist. I forget her first name, but I found a whole bunch of pottery that is similar in style, just given the bright colors, that like Memphis style. The outside has kind of a matte finish to it, where the inside has a glossier glaze. And all of her stuff, again, is very recognizable, and people tend to really gravitate towards it. So I think, given the overall style and size of this, I'll probably price this around between $100 and $150. I picked this up for $5.09 at Goodwill. So here is the next thing that I found. This is a signed print by George Allen. He was a Hawaiian artist. I picked this up for $5.09 at Goodwill. I actually did not know who did this. I just kind of picked it up. I couldn't really read what the signature said. I don't know if you can see that down in the corner, but this is of a banyan tree in Hawaii. And I just had to research this when I got back. I tried a couple things and found that he did a whole bunch of drawings like this of Hawaii. And I just picked it up because it was nicely framed, signed in pencil, and thought it was kind of a cool piece. So for $5, his work sells anywhere from like $50 to $100. Next thing I found here, I got for $4 at Goodwill. And this is a giclée print of a photograph, and it is signed by the artist down here in gold, Alan Brown. Anytime I find photographs that are actually signed by the artist, I always see if I can find any people selling other photographs or find any information about the photographer, because I have found some pretty valuable photographs in the past. So this one, seeing that it is signed here, and it also, when I check the back, has a Gallery 1, which is a local gallery in the area, and it's got all the information here. So I did a quick search, looked up him on the Gallery 1 website, and found that his work, sells, most of his things are priced around 125 bucks. The sizes might have been a little bit larger on some of the pieces that were more expensive, but kind of a unique, nature macro photograph of these grasshoppers. So cool piece for $4. So this is the last piece I'm going to show you of this set of thrift store treasures. This is a stencil art piece done by Hetty Metzger. And I honestly almost went past this, but I did see this on the back. And this is just basically, it's called Timeless Hollow, stenciled folk art by Hetty Metzger, and it's signed by her. This did come from Pennsylvania, and it's super detailed, really nicely done. I just did a quick search of her name, and there's a whole bunch of other stencil art that she did. And, depending on the complexity and how big the piece was, it was priced anywhere from like 100 to 250 bucks or something. I got this piece for $5.09 at Goodwill, so it seemed like a good piece to pick up. And there's I have sold a lot of like farmhouse decor or like country decor like this, so it tends to sell pretty decently, and it's in really good condition, professionally framed, so $5 is a really good price. So I appreciate you guys all tuning in. I'm glad I'm back making videos again and got all that stuff out of the way. I have a whole bunch of other treasures that I found at the thrift stores that I still need to show, and also a whole bunch of sweet auction stuff that I purchased over the last month or so. So get ready for those videos. I might do another, did I get this at the auction or the thrift store video? We'll see. If you haven't done so yet, please hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell. Helps me build the channel and helps me with the YouTube algorithm and all of that good stuff. Again, if you are the winner of the Steuben glass vase, please email me at joe@treasurehuntingdad.com. Email me your address. I'll get that sent out. And also, next video, I will be doing another giveaway. I'm not sure exactly what yet, but I will find something to send one of the commenters. Again, thanks. I wish you all the best luck if you get out there to any thrift stores, and I will see you in the next video.